Jenkins ready? You gonna go? Okay.
Namaste.
Good morning, beloved of God. Right where you are at this moment, the light of Spirit shines through you. Infinitely loved by God, you are the light of the world. I am Donna, and I welcome you to Unity Spiritual Center of Waco this morning. Please stand as you're able and join us in our congregational singing, and silence your cell phones while we're at it. Say together our statement of truth, which is on the screen. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. We are a beacon of love and light for those who need this spiritual home right now. Let us say together our vision, mission, and core value for today. Our vision: to awaken an awareness of spirit in our lives through modern application of ancient wisdom. Our mission: raise consciousness, transform lives, heal the planet, one person at a time, beginning with me. And our core value for today is gratitude. That's okay. Stewardship. We commit to the practice of giving and receiving, to living prosperity principles, and to being good stewards of the abundance God gives our families, our church, and our world. And Penny.
The daily word for today, March 19th, is comfort. Speaking the words, I love you, provides comfort for an aching heart and peace in times of uncertainty. Today, I open my heart to these loving expressions as a soothing balm for my distress or grief. When I'm concerned about another, love centers me in the truth that all is in divine order, no matter how circumstances appear. I unfold the people I care about in a sphere of love, encircling them in peace and protection. When I'm troubled, I find comfort in others' loving words. I surround myself with those who offer solace in times of need. I find encouragement in their kindness and compassion. As we share of ourselves in kind and loving ways, we hearten spirits and bolster faith, giving comfort to ourselves and others. And from 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 17, comfort your hearts and strengthen them in every good work and word. And our affirmation for today, which I'll say and then we'll say together, I find comfort in expressions of love. I find comfort in expressions of love.
This is time in our service when we have an opportunity to come together to greet one another, just say hi, shake hands, give a hug, or whatever. But let's do that at this time. And we especially want to include you who join us from out there in the ethers and know that you are part of this gathering.
Oh, thank you. All right, it's time for our second congregational song this morning. Feel free to remain seated. And it's our favorite. It's the one where we do the duet. You know what I'm talking about. Donna, I'm counting on you. Okay. So it's Open the Eyes of My Heart. And for those of you who have not been here, the very last part of the song, we all sing holy, 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 like 4 times. Well, it's really 16 times, something like that. And it's not opening? Okay, just a moment, everybody. We're experiencing some technical difficulties. We will just be a moment. In the meantime, let's all have a psychic moment together. Okay, what's going on? Oh, okay. I know what's going on. It's, for some reason, it's on select. There you go. Okay. It's all good, everybody. It was an easy fix. So I'm just going to go slowly because if I go too fast, I get out of breath. Okay, here we go. So remember, the first 2 times we sing the Holy, Holy, Holies, we all sing it together, and then I want you all to hold on to the Holy, Holies, and I will just do a little bit of a departure. And that's all. You know how it goes. Okay.
Open the eyes of my
Thank you, Lucinda, and thank you to everybody for carrying that forward. Yeah. It's a great day today. Good morning, I'm Reverend Don, and it's a pleasure to welcome each of you here to Unity Spiritual Center today. Together we affirm and celebrate our unity, our oneness with each other, our oneness with all that is, and our oneness in God. Your presence is essential for each of us. Is a unique aspect of the energy that is Unity Spiritual Center. Right here, right now, we know that no one is here by accident or coincidence. Unity is a new thought denomination, yet new thought is nothing new to the world. It is in reality a synthesis of the greatest concepts from the minds and spirits of humankind across the ages. The laws of Moses, the love of Christ, the ethics of Buddha, the morals of Confucius, the 5 pillars of Islam, and the deep spiritual realization of the Hindus all find an exalted place in the philosophy that is unity. In unity, we believe that all people are created with sacred worth. Regardless of culture, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or creed, we know that neither God nor unity leaves anyone out. So let's begin our service today with prayer. Infinite presence, dear loving Spirit, we come together today to celebrate your presence within each of us. Your love and energy that expresses through us. As we open our hearts, we open our minds, and we see the beauty that is surrounding us. The energy, the light, the love that is God. Knowing that through your presence, we make a difference. A difference in this world, within each other, and within ourselves. For each of us is like a candle, just a little flame. And as we feed that flame with love, we see it grow. And we see the presence of God growing within ourselves, within our world, and by working with each other, we can bring harmony to this world, knowing that your presence surrounds each person, and by feeding your presence into this energy, into our lives, into our world, we can work together to bring about peace, knowing that it is needed at this time, this juncture. So we just feel ourselves being part of your presence in this world. Each of us making a difference. When the disciples asked, how should we pray? Jesus gave them the Lord's Prayer, which we say together as translated from the Aramaic, the language that Jesus spoke. Together. Infinite presence, which is everywhere. Your name is sacred. Your kingdom is come. Your will is throughout the earth, even as it is throughout the universe. You give us our needful bread from day to day, and you forgive our offenses, even as we forgive our offenders. And you let us not enter into materialism, but you separate us from error. Because yours is the kingdom, the power, and the song, and the praise, from all ages, throughout all ages, sealed in faith, trust, and truth. Amen. Each of us is the light and love of God, Spiritual beings having a human experience, you are God's beloved, and we embrace you today.
Hello. Well, as you remember, today's talk is entitled, Let's Take a Cruise. I kind of wanted him to call it Baby Let's Cruise so I could sing cruising, Baby Let's Cruise. But, it doesn't really work with the message for today. So what I did find, and almost immediately popped into my head, was a Sue Riley song, and it's just called Blessed Be, and it's about kind of knowing that you're in the flow of life, baby. So whenever you're ready, Alice. Ooh. Can we try that again? I got to get the first note. There we go. Okay. Gonna let it be, let things be, let the thrill of life carry me, 'cause now I know I'm in the flow, I'm finally free, oh blessed be, gonna set it free, let things be, let the thrill of life carry me, 'cause now I know I'm in the flow, I'm finally free, oh blessed be. Life unfolds with grace and ease, endless possibilities. They're everywhere, they've always been, when I choose to let them in. Gonna set it free, let things be, let the thrill of life carry me, 'cause now I know I'm in the flow, I'm finally free, oh blessed be, gonna set it free, let things be, let the thrill of life carry me, 'cause now I know I'm in the flow, I'm finally free, oh blessed be. I've outgrown those smaller dreams, the way they used to limit me. I make the space, invite love in, magic fills my life again. Shoo, 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 shoo. There's something bigger calling me to follow where my passion leads. I trust that flow, don't need to know. I dance into the great unknown. Gonna set it free, let things be, let the thrill of life carry me, 'cause now I know I'm in the flow, I'm finally free, oh blessed be, gonna set it free, let things be, let the thrill of life carry me, 'cause now I know I'm in the flow, I'm finally free, oh blessed be, 'cause now I know I'm in the flow, I'm finally free, oh blessed be, I'm finally free, I'm finally free, oh blessed be.
Thank you, Lucinda. That was a nice, excuse me, a nice song, and it feeds our message today. Before we get going, though, we really need to bless the children. And I don't think anybody's going to come up here to join me. So you can bless me, and we'll bless all the children in the world also. So together, let's rub our hands together, get some nice warm energy going. And together we'll say, children, we love you, we bless you, and we behold the Christ in you. Today's talk, let's take a cruise, is I'm trying to come up with something to talk about. I get this cruise ship, and I'm wondering, okay, where are we going with this? So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to talk about today, and I came up with enthusiasm. something very important that we need to feed on in our lives. So as I'm thinking about that, I thought about when Linda and I went about 5 years ago on our first cruise. And as we were getting ready for the cruise, you had all the excitement. We'd never done it before. Enthusiasm, preparing. So I booked the cruise out of Galveston, and then I started planning on the different ports and what we could do. Something to do here or go on a tour there, and wondering what's going on in the ship. So it finally got to be the day, and we hop in the car and we drive to Galveston, and then you have to drop off your bags and go drop off the car and wait on a bus to take you back to the terminal, get in line, work your way up to the counter. You finally get through that, and you head out to the ship. You get almost to the ship and they stop you. Got to take your picture. Trying to make money off you. That's just the first time. It happened many times before the cruise was over. But we got the picture taken, went, got checked in. Something new, getting ready to leave the port, 3:30, 4 in the afternoon. So everybody, along with us, are out at the rails and stuff, watching to see what's going to happen. As we're getting ready to go, we even had some porpoises beside the ship jumping up and down. Something fun to watch. So we made it off. They pushed the ship out and they got it turned and they headed out of the bay. Everything was new, exciting, and all that enthusiasm and stuff going on, having a great time. Exploring the ship, went to dinner. Instead of sitting by ourselves, we just elected to be with a group of 10 people. So we get there at the table, we had 5 couples, and everybody got along great. One of the couples was kind of reserved and quiet. And after that, they ended up going on their own way to eat alone. But the other 4 couples, we always ate dinner together. Had great conversations, great people to be around. That evening, we take off. We start exploring the ship. You got the promenade and the pools and the library and this and that, and just getting lost in the corridors because this was a good-sized ship. Held around 3,800 people. So, and then you got another 1,100 or 1,200 people that work on the ship. A lot of people, but a lot to do. And we had all that excitement still just kind of bubbling up. Go get lost, find something new. Several decks, 15 different decks. And of course, right up there on the top deck was a chapel. Figured maybe I could tell them they need a chapel and we could get a free cruise out of this or something. But we had that enthusiasm, and then the next day we cruised all day, headed for Cancun, Mexico. But I think that was the day we went on a tour of the galley to go see the kitchen. It was 2 or 3 levels tall. When you're feeding 5,000 people, there's a lot involved, especially because they dress up a lot of your main meals and stuff to make them all pretty. So you had all these people running around getting the meals ready. And that was a nice tour, something new. So we cruised, and the next morning we pulled into Cancun, got off the ship, went for a tour, went through the tourist stuff, and spent some time that evening back on the ship. The next morning we went into the next port, which I keep wanting to say Costa Rica, but it wasn't. Anyway, wherever we went, hopped off the ship, went on a tour. Linda and I went wandering. I like to go somewhere different. So we wandered back off out of the tourist stuff. Downtown, found a mall, went shopping in the mall. Some of the people like her, what are you doing here? But that's okay. Linda found a purse and we got some shopping done. Got back on the ship, cruised overnight again to Honduras, left there and we went for a zip line. Did 13 of them actually. They hauled us in a bus up to the top of the mountain. We came back down on zip lines across the valley and back and had a good time doing that. Made it back to the ship and then left that evening. And the next day we just cruised. And the following morning back to Houston. Well, we'd covered most of the ship now. We still found stuff to do. There was actually one night we went to the Ice Capades. It was a big enough ship to have that on there. That was a great time. But I was getting cruised out. My enthusiasm was starting to come down. I was ready to move on, get off the ship, even though I'd loved the cruise. Great time. It just didn't hold on to me. Some people say, well, they stay on a cruise ship. Said it's cheaper than living in a retirement home. You got somebody there that's cleaning your room every day. You got great food. You got new people every week to sit and talk to, get along. And I think that's great if that's what you're into. I just wasn't mine. So my enthusiasm was down. We get back home, and about a year later, decided to go on another cruise. This time we were going to go to Alaska. This one really got my enthusiasm, my excitement going, because I'd always wanted to go to Alaska. So I work up and I make our reservations and I start setting up our tours at the different ports and what we're going to do, things to see. And I get all enthused. Finally, it comes time to go on the cruise. We drive up to DFW. That morning is thunderstorms. Airport's shut down. We're cruising that evening. I'm like, we can't be too late. This isn't going to work too well. So I'm kind of concerned about us making the ship. But there's another group of people by us. And they're going on the same ship. But I booked ours independently because, for one thing, I got a better price. Another thing, because I could pick and choose what I wanted us to do. But they'd call the cruise line because they went through the cruise line. Cruise line told them, well, you booked through us, we'll hold the ship. And I'm like, they'll hold the ship for them, they're going to hold it for us. No problem. So 2 or 3 hours late, but we catch the airlines, fly up to Vancouver, and then we got to go through customs, which is long. There had to be 300 people in front of us anyway, a lot of people. So we just worked our way through the line. They kept them moving pretty good, actually. We got through that, ran out, grabbed a taxi, headed across town to the docks so we could get on a ship. Guess what? Now we're leaving Canada. We got to go back through customs. Line wasn't as bad, but it was still, didn't matter. My enthusiasm level for this trip was way up here. I was born in New Mexico at the foot of the mountains. And as a kid, we just might go out in the morning, start climbing the mountains, spend all day up there, come home for supper. I loved the mountains. And I really always wanted to see the mountains in Alaska. So we get on the ship, and I got it booked where we'll take the inner passage. So we're going to be between two mountain ranges as we cruise. And I booked us on a balcony on the right side towards the mainland so we could see all the mountains, all the beauty of nature. So we did stuff on the ship. A lot smaller ship, only about 1,800 people on this ship. So there was still quite a bit to do, but I spent a lot of my time on the balcony or out on the bow of the ship just taking in nature, taking in all of that beauty, the wildlife, loving life. My enthusiasm, it was staying up there because this is something I get into. And I loved it. We got to go great places. We went to Skagway and went on a tour out through the Yukon in Canada. We went to Glacier National Park and got to see a huge glacier and watched calve a little bit. We got to go to Icy Point Strait and do another zip line that was over a mile long. Did over 65 mile an hour. That was great. My wife, needless to say, was a little apprehensive as I was looking it over at hers. We're getting ready to go. But after we did it, she loved it. But the object here is the enthusiasm I felt. And it didn't go down because I was doing something I loved. I was observing the mountains, the wildlife, and all of that beauty. This is a point in the talk where I was going to show you a couple of slides of the mountain that I forgot to stick on there, so we won't do that. Oh well. Anyway, but we just had so much fun just seeing that beauty. One of the slides is showing where the Exxon Valdez ran aground several years ago, and you saw where it had all that impact on nature and wildlife. But it all came back, and it shows the beauty of the bay and the mountains there. So we got through the ride, got up to Whitney, caught a bus to Anchorage to fly home. My enthusiasm was still up here because it's something I loved doing, something I got into. And as I thought about that, I thought, we need to do this in our life. We need that enthusiasm, not just for when we're on a weekend going to do something unusual or something new, but every day. Whether we're out mowing the grass, whether we're going to work, whether we're meeting people, enthusiasm. Think about how that affects not only us and how we see life, we enjoy life, but how that energy, like we talked in the song, the energy just flows out and affects the people around us, affects our world. Enthusiasm. If we look at enthusiasm, we know that enthusiasm is a powerful force that can drive us toward greatness, inspire us to achieve our goals. It's a feeling of intense excitement, passion, and devotion that can elevate our spirit, propel us towards our highest potential. Instead of just going through the drudgery of life every day, get up in the morning and say, it's going to be a great day. I'm going to open my heart, I'm going to open my mind, and I'm going to enjoy everything I do today. Think about that for a moment. If you get up with that attitude, how much different your day can be than just getting up and say, well, it's another day. Enthusiasm is often seen as a manifestation of the divine energy within us. It's a reflection of our connection to the universe and the creative power of God that flows through us. When we are enthusiastic, we're tapping into the cosmic energy that is God and allowing it to guide us towards our true purpose. Think about that. It's like when somebody smiles, you're going to smile too. When you have that enthusiasm, that energy, that openness to Spirit, to God, it radiates out. Jesus said, what you put out into the world reflects back into your life. So be enthusiastic about everything you do. Not only does it make your life better, but think how it affects somebody else that you're dealing with. You go to the store and somebody's there, they've been working for 8 hours. You look at them and you say, thank you. I appreciate what you're doing for me. They may have been beaten down by some customer complaining or something, and you may make a difference. You make a difference for you and for those around you. I think our world needs that right now. Just to show a little positive energy, a little commitment to making God shine forth. Let's take that now into a time of meditation. So just right where you are, just sit back, relax, take a deep breath, breathing in the energy, the love that is God. Hold it for a moment. Allow that to flow in you, into your heart, flowing out to each cell in your body. Just breathing it in. And as you breathe out, just picture it flowing out to those around you. Knowing that you are sharing your love, your caring, breathing it in. So let's just spend a few moments now enthusiastically feeling the energy that is God. Now as we prepare to come back to this time, to this place, as we open our eyes and look around, let us see the enthusiasm and the love and light of God that's always there. Thank you.
This is the time in our service when we have an opportunity to give back to the work of Spirit through our offerings and our tithes. We give in love and gratitude for our own prosperity in its many forms, which comes to us through God, our instant, constant, and abundant source. Will the ushers please come forward? I invite you to hold your offering in your hand as we say our offertory blessing together.
Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all of the good I am and have, all of the good I give and receive, and I am grateful.
please join me as we bless this offering? Okay.
That's the warm hand, it is for sure. These are cold,
Yeah,
ice cold.
always. Okay, our prosperity affirmation. We affirm the continued growth and prosperity of
Unity Spiritual Center of Waco, and we are grateful.
and
And our prayer for protection.
Got it.
Okay, the light of God surrounds us.
I am the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
I am the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
I am the power of God.
And the presence of God watches over us.
I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well.
Oh, let's try that one more time.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
As we go forward this week and in our business meeting, let us all show enthusiasm. Let the church say, Amen.
Amen.
Okay, can I play now?